What is going on, guys? This is Travis Fight Fitness, and back in the garage again to do some training. Today is Tuesday, May 18th, which means it's going to be a dynamic effort bench day or a speed day, kind of used synonymously. We're going to start out with our winning warm-up. I've got it jotted down so you guys can see what the plan is. You're going to go for a band push down. There's going to be a little bit of a variant on what you've seen before, so pay attention to that one. We're going to do skull crusher, we're going to do dumbbell shoulder press, and then we're going to do fat grip row, which is just fat grip row. So doing some tricep, doing some shoulder, doing some back. Focusing on the areas that we intend on training so we can get them nice and warmed up. That winning warm up with 25 reps, 4 sets. So 100 total working reps as we rotate through fairly quickly. It's just Judge Judy and I today in the garage. Rude. And yeah, Seth has had to step down for the day, had some stuff going on. So we're gonna get after it. Got everything laid out and ready to rock. So it's just a matter of picking it up and getting into it. Today is gonna be the speed work. So I'm gonna come up with a variant of band setup. I got a few ideas in my head about what I want, but it's gonna be just a little bit different. And the whole idea is creating a stimulus in a slightly different way than what we've done, so it's not always the same thing every single time, but ensuring that we have the speed and the velocity where we want it to be. And if I don't know, I got my velocity measuring device somewhere around here.
It's right there.
Oh yeah, thanks Judy. Thanks Judy. So I got my velocity measuring device. This will help us make sure that we're moving at or near a meter per second. The speed portion is hypercritical. You want to make sure that you're moving on your dynamic effort days very quickly. If you can't objectively measure your speed with a device like this, the best thing to do is just make sure that you're moving fast, right? The movement, especially like if we're talking bench specifically, it should look like a punch. So it shouldn't be slow or strained at all. It should be pop, 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 very quick. And again, if you don't have a way to objectively measure, erring on the side of lighter is better than going probably too heavy. So if you don't have a way to measure objectively, go a little bit lighter than maybe you think that you ought to, and just make sure you're really hitting that pop, so that you get the explosivity that you're looking for. That's all for the front side of it. We're gonna get moving and get warmed up, get some sweat going, listen to some tunes. It'll be glorious. So hopefully stick around and watch this video and maybe get some ideas for structure and whatever else for your other videos. And as always, if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave those in the comment section below and I'll respond. So here we go. Yay.
Blah.
Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving dog, yeah, I'm on the way.
All right, Nat, on the other side of the camera. Hey, so I know that I didn't do too much filming in terms of, you know, you were more kind to me than I was to you with the filming, so I'm sorry for that. But with what we do with the winning warm-ups, like today, for example, what do you get and what do you take away from it? How do you feel kind of as you go through those movements? What are some of your thoughts?
Some of the movements we've done before, so I feel like as we go along with doing the winning warm-ups, I am actually gaining more strength, so I'm able to do things faster and with a little bit more weight than I would have done at the beginning of it. Okay,
so you're making a point that as you continue through the training sessions through time, you're looking to try to make those warm-ups slightly more difficult by, you said, moving faster
so and adding more weight, maybe
less rest time between those working sets. And then you said also moving up the weight as well?
Yes.
Wow. All right, so like, so that's something I want to highlight, right? Like, and that really hit the nail on the head. We didn't.
You caught me off guard, really.
Yeah, we didn't script that out. But it is a valuable thing to know, right? So like, if this is a training program that you start to try to follow or emulate, you can get more out of it by increasing the intensity, so increasing the weight, or also decreasing your rest time. So moving faster will also be more strenuous and more difficult as well. So there are a number of different ways that you can play with the difficulty. You know, if you were so inclined, you could also do stuff like tempo, you know, meaning like, you know, 3 second up, 3 second down, right? Like, there are varying ways that you can mess with the work capacity to really make the workout atrocious. So what I'm saying and what I'm trying to emphasize is that it's not necessarily always about more. It's not adding more sets and more, you know, longer workout or whatever. Sometimes there are ways that you can manipulate your training sessions to really get a lot of value out of those training sessions without having them be 3-hour sessions. So, you know, I just wanted to touch on Nat, some of the stuff that she's taking away from these running warm-ups, so that maybe you can too, or at least have some food for thought in the event that you're considering working with this kind of a type of a training model. So now we're gonna go ahead and get moving into the main movement, which is the speed work for the bench, the dynamic effort. I'm just kind of testing some band resistance. So what I've done here is I have the minis, but I have the minis doubled up. I have a feeling this might end up being a little bit too much resistance for Nat. So what I'll likely do is test to see where I'm at and keeping with that 1 meter per second, and just quick blast through all my working sets, and then we'll change it over for something that's a little bit more palatable for her in terms of like band resistance or whatever, to ensure she's hitting that same velocity. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a couple test sets to make sure that I'm on point with my meter per second, and then we'll blitz through everything real fast. So here we go.
Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits, and I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business, and I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told them check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double.
Where do you want me to stand?
You're fine right there.
Okay.
All right, guys, that's it. That's the video. Judy's holding the camera for us ever so graciously, even though she's judging silently behind the camera.
No, I'm not.
Judging all of us, judging you sitting there watching this right now.
Totally.
So moving through this stuff, we talked about the running warm-up and kind of what she thinks of it. Hopefully that gives you guys some food for thought to kind of consider as you put together your own programs. Also wanted to highlight, right, so I did my speed work with a double green band, the double mini, and 135 of straight bar weight, and that kept me pretty close to that meter per second target range. What we did for Nat is we changed the setup. So instead of it being a double, right, we just have that single, and then we just kind of stretch it out to get a little bit more tension on this band, and it proved to be pretty sufficient for her. So she was able to stick pretty close to that meter per second range that we wanted to keep her at, with no weight. So we had just the bar and the band tension, and that kind of led us right where we wanted to be. So for you guys that are at home, just understand that you may have to play a little bit with your band tension. You want to make sure that you're adjusting your band tension and adjusting your straight weight, either way, to keep you right at that meter per second target, or a weight that you're moving sufficiently fast enough. And if you don't have a way to objectively measure it like I do, then like I said before, err on the side of caution and just dial it back. But as you can see with the kind of our setup and what we did here, you too may have to kind of adjust with your setup and come up with different setups. That way you're dealing with different band tensions, and so the stimulus is always changing, and you don't really have an opportunity to kind of adapt to one setup and one setup alone. But anyway, food for thought. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. I want to thank you guys for your continued support with everything that you do for the channel. Like, share, subs, it means a lot. The channel continues to grow, and I'm ever so grateful. If you happen to know, especially any military brethren that might also benefit or enjoy the channel, please share it. You know, platoon sergeants, team members, whole 9 yards. I want to make sure we grow with the military community, and especially with ACFT and all that, you know, building a community of strength within the military where we're not just run, because running breeds cowardice, and it does. breeds cowards. Don't be a coward. All right, that's it, guys. Any questions, comments, or concerns, drop in the chat box below. I will respond. Thank you guys so much. And remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, like adjust your setup a little bit to kind of get the resistance and the training that you're looking for. It'll never happen if you don't get into training despite. You're either gonna find an excuse, you're gonna find a way. And I hope that you guys continue to find a way. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Peace, man. Told them check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Nah, I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's